In April, we found out we were having a little girl after 4 boys, and we were so excited. After being sick for 5 months at our 20-week ultrasound, we found out that our baby girl was gone. And when I came home to prepare for labor and delivery, I opened my hands and I promised God I wouldn't fight it. I wouldn't fight what he wanted to do in me. I just asked him not to waste it. I knew I wouldn't have a fat little pink thing at the end to show the world what all my pain and work went into. But I had to know he wouldn't waste it. When we went into the hospital, my labor was mostly just through the night. And I thought at a time like that, like I would be able to hear God's voice really clear, and I'd have some like new revelation of who he was. And my whole team was asleep, and I had terrible side effects from the medication they gave me. And I was in so much pain, and I was so desperate for it to end, but I also was so scared to meet a dead baby. And I couldn't hear God's voice at all. And I was kind of disappointed, like, where are you? I thought in something where I was in so much pain that I would feel him really close, and I didn't. After that, in the healing process, our 1.5-year-old started swelling up to an unknown allergy out of nowhere. And so we went through a process of doctor's appointments and taking out foods and crazy diets and treatments, and there was no rhyme or reason to anything. And the fear and the anxiety that literally crippled me was so heavy. And every nap time when I put him to bed, I just kept telling God, like, this is too much for one person to carry. And I knew he wanted to do something in me, but I couldn't figure out what it was. And so I would just beg him and ask him and talk to him and worship. And people kept telling me, like, Christina, God is doing a beautiful work in you. And I was like, why does it have to be so hard? Looking back, like in a year or two, I could see it, but I couldn't see it in the moment. In the process of that, I feel like God took all of my dysfunction that I had been living in all of my life, that I didn't necessarily even see, but I was living in it to extremes because I didn't have any energy to fake anything or put cute little spiritual labels on them. And I could see the pattern of my whole life of living in either fear and anxiety or shame and self-hatred and depression. And I was laid bare, vulnerable, where God could touch them. And I finally was able to see God's love in him allowing these things to happen, because I was pretty comfortable in those things. I was pretty comfortable. I knew them. I knew them well. I knew how to live in them. And they were literally destroying my life and holding me back from everything that God had called me to. And so I could see it as like a beautiful thing that God was doing as a good father, him not wanting me to stay stuck in darkness, in my own comfortable darkness. And the freedom and the light that he'd been inviting me into for years, I wouldn't take. I was stubborn. I was like, nope, this is my safe place. And he literally like allowed the rug to be pulled out from under me. In the darkness and in the depression and the grief, there was an invitation into something so beautiful, so life-giving, so free. And I don't think I would have chosen that had those things not happened. Like, I love him so much more for it. I see his fatherliness to me and his invitation into me being the person that God made me to be, that I was not willing to step into because it hurt too much or it was too scary. And I praise him. One thing about being in the wilderness is you're actually never alone. There's always community. And this summer, people showed up for us that we didn't even know, that loved on us when we couldn't feel God's love, when we felt alone. And even the children of Israel, when they were in the wilderness, they were surrounded by people. You have to have community when you're in the wilderness. My name is Christina, and through the wilderness, God gave me freedom.